Hey, my gorgeous friends, it's your friend Kevin, and we're here with today's Divine Daily Blast, the last couple, 3 days before we wrap up 2025. So let's get right to it all, shall we? Exciting, exciting. That's what we should be, in the mode of excitement. Number 5, Angel Numerology Day to date. Now, yesterday, I apologize. I somewhat alluded to doing the navigation for the week ahead, and then I sort of got to thinking about that. And navigation for the week ahead is sort of like taking the Divine Daily Blast, packing it into a week, and then adding tarot cards. I'm going to rethink how I do that, because I like doing the Daily Blast on the day that it gets rolled out. I like being present in the present day energy as opposed to sort of pre-recording a bunch of stuff. It's just my little quirk. Anyway, let me just start with where we are, the 28th of December into the 3rd of January, according to the moon cycles. Now, there's a very fiery moon in the sign of Cancer at the end of this coming week. So wrap up all your work. Focus instead on your home and your family and what you need to, get done. Be super careful about your moods and your energies all week long. Perhaps make notes of both, but remain very present. And we talked yesterday about the angelic influence of a 22 number, which is a master number. It does reduce to a 4, and the moon yesterday was in Aries. That can bring up a sense of lollygogging, or a sense of ants in your pants, or a sense of I've got to do something because nothing is happening. That was the mode of taking it easy. Taking it easy. Now today, we've got a number 5, angel numerology number, which is all talking about adventure. And adventure basically is giving you the idea that changes are whirling, they're swirling, they're coming, they're going, people are entering, they're exiting. I'm talking about life. People in your life are fixing to enter your life, and people are fixing to exit your life. I'm not talking about death and birth. That could be part of it. But look at your life at the moment as being a wonderful, incredible, magical train station or airport or somewhere where there's a lot of comings and goings. Be in the present energy to all the incredible, miraculous changes that are occurring. And energy to be in that dynamic mode, spiritual mode, sensual mode. Invoke endless curiosity. Like you could go to your guides, your angels. This morning I was digging into Edgar Cayce's work. Fabulous, fantastic. Talking about the soul's journey. Talking about how the 1 year after the soul has left the physical body, there's a transitional period. What the soul needs to do, what the soul chooses to do. And it was fascinating. That's the type of endless curiosity I like to dig into. Look at things in a new way. Shed new light on situations. Shed new light on the people and the things that might have seemed mundane. Can you stoke the fire of passion with those relationships, those situations, those stories? If not, can you clear out the grate of the ashes and dump the ashes back to the earth? Now, the number 5 energy works with the awakening card and the tarot card, which is also the hangman in the tarot, in the tarot deck. So it's this ongoing journey that we talk about. Now, the moon, my loves, has moved into the sign of Taurus. Very, very definite, very, very defined. Taurus is about let's get grounded, let's do it. Taurus can also be a little bit of stick in the mud. A clash between the communication planet of Mercury and that really difficult planet Saturn is on our heels today. So your challenge might be to stay positive. Your challenge might be to focus on the good stuff. Your challenge, I'm saying, might be to refuse to be diverted away from this wretched news cycle. I really don't know why anybody would want to become a journalist in this day and time if they're going to start reporting nonsense, because it makes no sense. to try to control nations, to try to control people, to try to report things that they think is ludicrous. Well, we know their changes are coming. So that's the kind of distraction that we should sort of stay away from. Try to be diverted more into your soul's journey, your adventure of your soul. Moving on to my isms. My heart space is fully open. I am boldly living my life. How boldly are you living your life? How bold are you being? What are you really doing? I am a beautiful soul on a cosmic journey, fully and completely supported and loved by the universe. We are always, you, me, everybody, is always 24/7 supported and loved by the universe. It is up to us whether we choose to accept it or not. If we're saying things about ourselves that are not true, I'm fat, negative stuff. My whole story from childhood into adulthood was that story, I'm fat. And it took me to my 50s for somebody on an exercise into what we're saying, because we say a lot of things that we don't really realize what we're saying. And other people can say, do you realize what you're saying about yourself? And we were doing this exercise, and this nurse from Kentucky, she was I should preface this by saying a whole bunch of us, over 100, converged in Sedona, Arizona for what was a yoga boot camp. And in the inquiry session, we had to tell a story. And we had to keep on telling that story. And our partner was picking up things in the story that they were able to turn into what we were saying that we shouldn't be saying. And she was, well, your affirmation that you're not paying attention to is that you're fat. It was not true. I wasn't. And I was then asked by the facilitator to define what that means. Because what it means to me, what it means to you, what it means to other people is different. We could look at somebody who is proportionately larger or smaller. You know, you could go to somebody and say, well, they're thin. I did it recently. I caught myself, but I saw an image of a famous person who was doing the Instagram stuff that we all do. Well, I don't, but people do. And they were proud of the fact that they had transformed their physical appearance a lot more slender. And they were explaining how their new image was. And rather than me saying that's how well they feel about themselves, or that's how they feel joyful about the way they look, they feel happy about what they've achieved, I rode into the judgment mode of, my goodness, because it was odd. They looked very different. They didn't look like themselves. They didn't look like the person who I remembered them being. And I wondered then, that's where curiosity, when we get into that automatic judgment, it isn't that we could be guilty. We can ask for forgiveness for judging unfairly, but then it leads into the curiosity. Let's be curious about why that is different. Let's be curious about why we find things challengingly different. Another case in point, and then I'll move on. I do have clients that will make comments, well, you're very direct. Some would say you're very blunt. Well, what do you want me to be? Because, you know, there is a way to sugarcoat things or pretty things up or say things in a way that perhaps is more, I don't know, sing-songy pleasant. Well, if the intention is not to harm, to do no harm, and the intention is to tell the truth, sometimes that truth is blunt. I know my spirit guides and my angels, particularly the fairies, they don't have a filter. They say it in a kinder way. That's perhaps what the lesson I need to learn, is to soften the blow of what comes out, you know, and I can be a little short. So that's a nice soft way of saying, can we soften how we approach and how we communicate? And this is what goes into focusing on the good stuff, focusing on the pleasant stuff, focusing on the soft stuff, rather than being diverted into judgment. And I'm going to tell you, my friends, what I've learned and discovered in my curiosity is that judgment is learned. Judgment is picked up behavior. Judgment is like, ooh, a stain on a profile. And the soul, when it travels, according to Edgar Cayce, and I kind of agree, when the soul, that's a part of who we are, our spirit, our inner being, removes itself from the physical body, there's a little bit of work to be done. A little bit of work so that we can then transform and choose whether we want to go to an enlightened place or whether we would like to come and reincarnate. It's a choice. Do we want to reincarnate and have another adventure with some of the souls we had an adventure with before? And if we do, what's that adventure look like? These are the kind of things we're talking about here. My last ism. I am singing the song I came here to sing. So you may not know what song you're singing when you come here. Because, we forget about how the soul travels. When we come into a new incarnation, we start it all over again, getting used to the world in physical. We bring some of that stuff with us. It becomes an awakening process that happens along the way. We meet people, we go to places, we experience situations that remind us of, oh, we are on a soul journey. I love to believe that I am a spiritual soul having a human experience. Once I landed on that, then I was able to carve out my own journey of what is this human experience that I'm having right now. And if there's a human experience that's unpleasant, I can return to my soul nature, my soul nurture, my inner being, my higher being. Can you please help me? All right, my friends, let's move on to the angel affirmation. This comes from Radley Valentine's Angel Affirmations deck. Message from Archangel Uriel. Call upon me, the angel of epiphanies and brilliant ideas, when you need spiritual messages, revelations, and magic. My life is full of magical moments, and I see signs and guidance from angels in all that I do. Pretty simple. I see signs and guidance from angels in all that I do. The YouTube videos. Let me see what this does. Let me see how this works. Let me understand why that person does what that person does. And then share all the experiences. Share all the wonderful adventures that we're having. And then other people might wake up and say, you know what, that happened to me. Okay, yeah. Happened to you, happened to me, happened to us, happens to everybody. We may have different adventures and different stories to tell, but we're having similar experiences. Now, the star beings are with us all week long. Written in the stars. There is a great mystery unfolding at this time, and all the synchronicities and signs you are experiencing are not coincidences. They are spirit-led experiences that let you know that you are on the right path always. Trust in this. Where you are is where you need to be. Stay committed to your vision, because star beings are guiding your dreams into reality. And your activation message is, thank you, star beings, for guiding my vision into reality. Star beings are those energies, entities that live between the realms, that swoop in and swoop out and dive in and dive out. They're almost like invisible messengers. Aliens, if you want to call them aliens. They're also part of the fairy community, the nature's community, guiding. This morning I went out and I was amazed. I had a lovely little pride of cats, a little family I called them, 2 mamas, and every so often their babies would pop in and pop out, and they would come and they would go. And then slowly the 2 mamas have disappeared. They might pop in every so often, it might be weeks before I see them. And then there was last year, a lovely big fluffy cream coloured cat with gorgeous blue eyes. I call him Mr. Handsome. He would pop in, come in, meow, wind himself around the front door looking for food. I didn't know who he was. He comes in the mornings. And then there were the 2 kittens that were born underneath a spruce tree over in the corner of my yard about a year ago. They're now pretty much full grown, and they come. And sometimes I ask myself, well, what am I doing every week? Wandering off to the pet store, picking up what seems to be 40 small 5-ounce cans of Friskies cat food to put down. What am I doing? What is this all about? And then I find myself not thinking, I can't stop this. I mean, who's going to feed these cats? And yes, when I hear reports on TV from politicians to talk about people who live alone with no children turn into cat people, well, I raise my hand up. And if I was in front of that person who said that stuff, I would stand up, scream it to the hilltops and say, yes, that's me. Oh, a crazy animal lover who thinks that nature and the human race coexist together in harmony. The Lemurians, many of you have commented about how they are just not backing down, and they're not. My friends, they are not. They're activating our clairvoyant skills. They're bringing our psychic awareness into focus. They're also causing us to be a little bit more sensitive and trust the inner knowing. We have to. If you want a more realistic plateful of that, we have a hard time trusting what those in charge or claiming to be in charge. So we almost have to trust our gut. You trust whether this is right or whether this is wrong. You trust whether you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. And when you don't know, you ask your inner being, your higher self, could you please guide me? I'm having a little difficulty. Then let it go. Let your guides and angels sort through the confusion, the debris, and bring you clarity. Okay, fairies everywhere. Come hither, come thither. Bring us a blessing for today. Gertrude, Beatrice, thank you for being with us. I can't see them. I know I feel them, and I can hear Gertrude's giggly laugh. And Beatrice just saying, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. We're here. We're not hiding. We're just keeping warm in the cozy space. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to... One more time. Okay. I'm just going to pull this last card. New beginnings. Oh, and it's in reverse. It's upside down. Well, it's fine. We have our beautiful angel, Mother Angel. She's holding out her hands and she's presenting the child. This fairy is a fairy godmother, and she heralds in the joyous news of a new baby, or the birth of a cherished idea. Protect and nurture your ideas as you would a baby. Now, I love this card because there is new birth happening all the time. I think we're moving into a place where new people are coming into our lives. New experiences are going to be coming into our lives. New situations are going to be presented to us. We're going to get a quicker, clearer, sharper feeling of this is not right, and quickly make the decision to move into what is. I happen to believe in my heart, my soul, and I'll share it with you, the right path, the right situations, the right people, the right places get presented to us in many forms before we actually realize, oh, I have been thinking about this for a while and here it is. That's how we progress forward. That's how we know the right and the wrong path. An idea pops into our head, we may just discount it for today, and then oops, here it is. Idea starts here, doesn't start anywhere physical. And then the path reveals it in the magnificent manifestation way. So with that, I was just thinking about that yesterday. I was just wondering if that's what I should do, and then here it is. That's probably happened to all of you. That's certainly happened to me. More and more and more and more and more of these messages are going to be coming through. You may smell something in a room that reminds you of somebody who's passed into spirit. They're getting in touch. This is going to happen more and more and more. Things like singing songs, looking at flowers. I remember one time I was delivering pizzas way back in the day, 30, well, it would be almost 30, yeah, it's 30 years ago. And I was contemplating whether or not I should buy a condo. Somebody said I could qualify, I could buy this townhouse, this, that, and the other thing. And at the time I was thinking, this is furthest from the truth. I don't even know if that's what I should be doing. And then right outside this house, this townhouse, there were forget-me-not flowers growing, which were growing in an odd place, and that was my grandma's favourite flowers. So it's like there is where the path reveals itself. That's how our voyages and our journeys reveal itself. All right, my friends, I'm going to leave you go with that today because we've gone on into 20 minutes. Tomorrow, I'll see you again. And until then, thanks for liking, subscribing, getting this channel going. And I'll see you soon. Lots of love to all of you. Bye for now.